Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And in a video recently, I told you I never thought XRP was gonna go below $3 ever again, because the chart looks so damn strong. Then it fell under $3. I said, well, I don't think it's going to go under $2, yet it did. And it's because it's so unpredictable, because there's so much market manipulation happening at the same time. But I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. You know, some people, they have to have that need to be right every single time. You know, I'm just a guy who loves to talk about crypto, and I just want to get rich with all of you. That's what it comes down to. It's the same reason that I actually care whether or not you lose your crypto. I'm probably one of the only people out there that try to tell you on a daily basis to avoid scams, avoid things that seem too good to be true. But market manipulation, it caused this entire cycle to be very unpredictable. And it's going to continue because we don't have regulations yet. That's one of the biggest reasons. But it goes even beyond that. So Vincent Van Code says, just a daily reminder that XRP volume is relatively low, and as such, price can be easily moved. 20 billion is when XRP is really being traded. Crypto is a volatile animal. Why? 1. Lack of regulations. 2. Significant market manipulation from Bitcoin whales. 3. Immature demographic of retail investors getting rattled at the sight of a drop of blood on a red day. 4. Low volumes, which attract wash trading, bot manipulation. 5. Large over-the-counter and dealer trades pushing volume off order books. 6. Very little to no intrinsic value, resulting in pure speculation and emotional trading. When fundamentals are strong, no real negative news, and price tanks, it's a clear sign that crypto is undervalued. I am unshaken. I just have a relatively small bag of XRP. Lately, I am building some innovative things for clients using the XRP ledger, public notarization, to name just one. And he's right. The price right now is not the actual price of XRP. It should already be much higher. But as we've seen, there's tariff talk. Right away, Bitcoin comes plummeting down, taking the rest of the market with it. You have whales selling off also, bringing the price back down. And that's what's really going on. But eventually, this will all change. And once we have regulations in place, I think it's going to change a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes at the exchanges as well. 21 shares. Top crypto company ask XRP Army to get ready. Here's what's coming. Now, we know their ETF is coming. There's a chance that it's going to launch tomorrow. But they're telling you to get ready. That just makes people wonder if it's something even bigger, something more geared towards retail investors. But I think they were just pushing their XRP ETF. Chad Steingraber says, the best part about the XRP ETFs, we don't need any new laws. The largest institutions can buy, and it's legal today. And I agree with that. The institutions now got the green light to get into this space through the ETFs. So now, what have I been telling you this entire time? You beat the institutions here. Don't sell your XRP. The institutional money is now going to come in through those ETFs. And eventually, they're going to swallow up most of the supply, because they're not going to stop buying into these ETFs. And they're going to open up ways that these companies can leverage these ETFs as well. Tukrium Trading CEO says, Ripple is building a JP Morgan rival. Take a listen to this.
They are building literally I said it before, a JP Morgan rival once they get their banking license. They're going to be incredibly well capitalized. Why would they want to sell XRP? They're going to want to hold on to that. As it goes up in value, they could sell some clearly, sure. I just think that Ripple is a machine. It is a highly disciplined team that is, they don't all have to agree on things, and some of them leave to go here or go there. They sure all leave and go somewhere related. So whether it's a master plan, or more likely, it's really creative people that work as a team, and they all have different paths that their lives take them on, but they stay in the ecosystem, and they're creating a bigger ecosystem, a more robust ecosystem. I just think Ripple is at the center of the universe, and so Brad says XRP. He's being modest with Ripple. They are building literally.
Here's what it comes down to. Did you ever take notice where the people that worked at Ripple at one time or another, where they end up? Robbie Mitchnick is a very good example of this. I think he was deployed to BlackRock. And you could see it with other people that have left Ripple over time. They either go on and they build some other company that's related to Ripple or tied in with Ripple, or they go to some of the biggest companies in the world. And it's like somehow it all comes back to Ripple in the end. And they're such a well-rounded company. But Brad, he's not going to abandon XRP at all. The XRP is at the heart of everything that Ripple does, and that's how it's been since day one. And I thought this was a great post as well. Back in 2014, people had to use PayPal to buy XRP. 75,000 XRP for $300. That's 0.004 per XRP. Now, could you imagine all the people that were buying back then? And then the price in 2017, 2018 ran all the way up to $3.84. Could you imagine how happy those people were? But one thing that this post points out is that it was so much harder to buy XRP back then. Now you could just go to Uphold, you could go to Coinbase, you could go to any exchange and buy XRP. You don't have to jump through hoops anymore, is what I'm saying. You have to do the KYC and the AML. But other than that, I mean, you could get XRP almost anywhere. Back then, it was a lot different. Crypto was looked at in a different way back then. It was like everybody that was buying crypto back then, it was like you were doing something illegal to begin with. I remember when I was buying XRP in 2018, and people said, wow, you're a crypto investor, and they would whisper it, and it's like, yeah, but a lot of people still look at it that way. They think it's like the wild, wild west, but those wild, wild west days are ending for crypto. It's maturing. The people that have been holding for a long time, they're maturing with it. You don't see the talk of people buying Lambos and mansions anymore. Now it's all about like paying off their debts, buying a conservative house, buying a conservative car. It's so much different in crypto today than it was back then. And this comes from Eleanor Tourette, and she's pointing out how people panic sell and how people change when a red day shows up. When I first started reporting on crypto for mainstream media, I was always bemused by the OGs I interviewed who never seemed to the least bit phased when the markets were crashing around them. Having worked 2 years on the New York Stock Exchange floor, where every 2 to 3% swing felt like a crisis, I kinda assumed the crypto guys were just acting tough. Over the years, I've learned that crypto wiping out its yearly gains in a month with 20 to 40% swings in a cycle is basically your average Tuesday. As Keith Grossom so colorfully articulated in his Wall Street Journal interview today. He says, I was more frustrated by my current kidney stone situation than by the crypto markets. Crypto kills nerves. If you're in crypto long enough, none of this stuff phases you. And I 100% agree. I've been in this space for a long time. A red day shows up and I just brush it off like it didn't even happen. And that's what I'm trying to get all of you used to as well. I always try to tell you, you didn't lose money unless you sold today. If you did nothing, you didn't lose anything. And if anything, if you're going to want to do something, buy the dip. Other than that, just sit back because we will see green days ahead. XRP is going to break out. I want all of you to be here for that. I don't want you to get shaken out and because people are acting like the sky is falling. I see some of the strongest hands in crypto. Every time a red day shows up, they're all over X. This is it. Pack up your bags. It's over. Come back in 2028 and so on. And it's like, why would you even spread that nonsense? Why would you spread that negativity? Because negativity it's contagious. And new investors, they react to that negativity. But once you're here for a period of time, all of a sudden you gain patience and you start to look at the chart differently. You zoom out. You look at things that are going on. Is this market manipulation? When are they going to let Bitcoin finally go on that last ascent? Nobody really knows when it's going to happen, but we all know it's going to happen. And that's why it doesn't bother us. So Jake Claver said this: I gave you the map. If you own XRP, all you have to do is nothing. I'm just going to sit tight and smile while it all unfolds. Now, there's a couple of bets going on that I guess he apparently got into. And his predictions are 2,500 by the end of the year or $750. And he says both are possible. Now, I don't know if he's going to be right or not. I looked at this from a couple different points of view. If we see that scarcity, of course, XRP can skyrocket to these price points. Is it going to happen, and is it realistic? I don't know for sure. Nobody really does, because we don't know how much XRP is actually sitting on those over-the-counter desks. I think some people are assuming a certain amount sits there, but nobody knows the actual number. And there's also dark pools as well. Now, once that XRP disappears, that's when you better buckle up, because then all these ETF launching companies are going to have to turn to the exchanges to get XRP. And when that happens, the demand is going to be skyrocketing and the price is going to skyrocket with it. And this is Bitcoin worst nightmare. Take a listen to this from Vaneck.
Sort of one of the fundamentals. Now, there's something else going on within the Bitcoin community that kind of non-crypto people need to know about. And that is ultimately, Vaneck has been around before Bitcoin. We will walk away from Bitcoin if we think the thesis is fundamentally broken. We don't right now. But you always have to look at the underlying technology. And the Bitcoin community has been asking itself about, is there enough encryption in Bitcoin? Because quantum computing is coming. And then secondly, is there enough privacy in Bitcoin? And so a lot of Bitcoin OGs or maxis have been looking at Zcash. And Zcash,
what's that?
Zcash is a token. It's sort of related to Bitcoin with a lot more privacy. Because the kind of garbage that we got about Bitcoin 4 years ago is it's like used for all bad illicit behavior. But now everyone kind of realizes when you move money around on the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see it. You can see it move from one wallet to another. And a lot of people are looking for more privacy.
So he just summed up two different things there. Number one, quantum computing is a threat to Bitcoin. They could deny it all they want. They could come out and say whatever they want, but it is absolutely a threat. And the rise of quantum computers is going to happen over the course of the next 2 years. And that's why it's better to be invested in something that you know is not only going to be quantum proof, but it's going to be technology advancement proof. Because technology is advancing. And it's leaving Bitcoin behind as it advances. You're holding the future when you're holding XRP. And I think a lot of people are waking up to this. Robert Kiyosaki sells Bitcoin amid market crash and says, practicing what I teach. So he sold $2.25 million in Bitcoin for approximately $90,000. I purchased the Bitcoin for $6,000 a coin years ago. And we're seeing more and more of this now. It's not the names that you see all over the mainstream media news all the time. A lot of the times it's coming from OG Bitcoin holders. They don't like the direction that Bitcoin's going in. They don't like the ties to the government. They don't like anything that's happening right now. So they're jumping out and they're looking to invest into something else. And plus, I think a lot of them, they see the better return on investment in something like XRP. Financial advisors who ignore Bitcoin ditched by young wealthy Americans. So in other words, what they're saying in this article is that if financial advisors aren't pushing crypto, then these younger investors are going off on their own and they're investing in it anyway. But financial advisors should be capitalizing on this. They should be, their doors would be flooded with new investors if they were pushing crypto instead of pushing their customers away from crypto. Because the better return on investment is definitely in crypto. It's not in the stock market. All of a sudden, you go into crypto with a few $1,000s and you're walking away with a few $100,000. It's a big difference. But financial advisors, some of them are starting to embrace crypto now, but others, they just can't bring themselves to do it. They've been pushing the negativity towards crypto for such a long time that they don't want to embrace it now. Most of these financial advisors were here during the crypto crackdown. So they were most likely telling their customers, you know, you don't want to get into crypto. They're cracking down. Crypto's going to be gone within a year or two. And look at where we are today. Crypto was never going to be gone. And now the entire world is embracing it. Countries are embracing it. So how do they go back to their customers and say, hey, I was wrong about crypto. Maybe you should start investing into crypto now. They're never going to do that. You talk to financial advisors and most of them think they know everything. I used to call 3 of them randomly on a daily basis just to get their views on crypto. And out of 3, 1 would say, well, it's very volatile, but if you really want to get into it, I could help you enter crypto. But for the most part, they were just pushing people away from it. And I think a lot of them still are. And that's why the younger generation, they're avoiding the financial advisor. They figure we don't need a financial advisor. We'll just get in on our own. And that's why you're going to see a lot of new investors in this space over time. But no matter how you look at this, at the end of the day, XRP investors, we are going to get financial freedom from this cryptocurrency. All you got to do is not sell too soon and come up with a great game plan. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.